Hello again, everyone. Melth here, to continue my Baldur's Gate 3 challenge run, details of which are in the YouTube video description. Going through more of Grymforge this time. Watch out for spoilers throughout this run. So, here we are. This is one of their patrolling Dwargr. Doesn't have much to say. I'll leave her alive because, along with the other patrolling Dwargr, she can get pulled into the huge fight that'll happen thereabouts later on, and I want to have that be the hardest possible, so having those guys wander in will be beneficial for that purpose. You know, I think I forgot a couple of items that I could have picked up back here when I was going through all these individual Dwargr fights. Let me make sure to loot these metal trunks and pick up also the Skybreaker hammer I think I threw but did not retrieve.
Open up.
I think I threw it over at one of those guys. But was that an error of many targets? Yes, those are great. They're really rare and of course they do damage multiple targets, so they're fantastic to have something like a starting when there's a big fight. Okay, well, let's get you joined back up.
I wish to live in more interesting times.
And move them up, talk to some other Dwargr. There are a whole lot around here. We can get
Like this, doing in the Underdark.
some lore about Grymforge here. We already kind of know exactly what it's doing here.
They've let it rot for ages. Come into her shadow.
I feel like we already know all of this, right? In character. Let's say the patrolling Dwargr, also not much to say. I want to really praise this area. I think it looks very cool and atmospheric. Many of these places we can see, we can actually get to later on. It's a fun three-dimensional maze that way. There are areas that are above us right now, actually we'll get back to later on and be able to see these places from up above. So, yeah, this game does not have that many 3D environments. This is one, and it's a really well done one, I would say. I'm glad that not every area is like that, because not every area should be like that. Not every area should be Dark Souls 1, but I'm glad that this area is. It's a nice change of pace. I think it just kind of looks like a really cool, fantastical cave. Down there, an encounter is waiting for us. Let's get down there and have a look. Obviously, we see treasure, so we're going to investigate.
Strange marking. What's it mean?
Seems important to check that before we proceed. There we go.
This room. Very exciting. Must be a cache nearby. Something tells me these harpers wouldn't leave their stash out in the open.
And so these chests are actually mimics. Aren't that many, clues about it, but there are some. Now, I've said before, especially in my Dark Souls run, I absolutely detest mimics as an idea. They're stupidest in Dark Souls, where they don't fit in the universe at all. But they're dumb even in D&D, which is where they originate from. They just kind of relate to this old dark age of D&D adventure design, when the goal is not to have environments that made any sense, creatures that made any sense, but just to pose an arbitrary challenge and kill off as many player characters as possible. Not just treasure chests, but all kinds of things were mimics. They were basically mimic versions of almost any kind of dungeon item you might find whatsoever. And the dungeon itself, they were basically fake wall monsters, fake ceiling monsters, fake floor monsters, fake stalagmite monsters. Just every single thing could be a monster in disguise, which was nonsensical and just led to tedious gameplay too, besides being really silly. Anyway, I'm glad they used sparingly in this game. I guess it kind of had to be there because it's an iconic D&D monster. Thankfully, only the treasure chest ones survived out of that god-awful era when everything was a mimic of one sort or another, but it's still just bad. I won't blame Baldur's Gate 3 for that. They used them sparingly, but I'm not going to praise them either because they're still using a dumb idea monster. Anyway, they resist most types of damage, but while they're in treasure chest form, they still take full from some things. Like the fall damage from the returning pike.
Not a single hit wasted.
So this should help me get through their heavy HP bars. There we go.
Blood comes easy these days.
Is the music weirdly quiet for everyone else? It sure is for me. Okay, well, the thing about them is that they take severely reduced damage from slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning, and that's a bit of an issue. Now, Ballista can do full damage to them or whatever. That's not really a big deal for him, but it is for everyone else.
Another round.
I think I want to try to soften this one up to a point that Ballistic can then kill it with probably one blast, but also applying Hex maybe to another one of them. Like maybe Hex that guy. And then blast this guy once for hopefully the kill, and that guy once. There we go. Then he can blast that guy some more. Or actually, what we should do probably... Let's do any fall damage first. Lae'zel. How about you throw the returning pike again? Why aren't you in the fight? That's weird. Okay, but let's get over here and then throw the returning pike. Now resist the damage, but still be pretty hefty. Didn't take any fall damage whatsoever, because fall damage is nonsense in this game. Okay. Well, I should get back to my previous plan of having Karlach maybe run up and throw at it. Or she could actually do a firebolt or a frostbite would still do full damage to them too. And slow them down as well. Maybe she'll do a firebolt. That was pretty good.
Time for a cull.
So how much will Ballista do? He'll do about 16 plus 2d6, so about 25 damage. It's pretty good. We'll go for it. We'll try to get the kill to Astarion so we can get his extra attack, essentially.
Let's have some fun.
Do I have sharpshooter on? I mean, when they have all the damage, it barely matters, but still worth doing because their armor class is so trashy. Okay. Let's get up to the top of that rock. They can't really do anything to us as long as we get up there. They're quite slow-moving things. They do have a kind of a ranged tentacle attack that pulls you in, which I guess is interesting. Pull effects are fairly rare.
They're dying for me. All of them. Another step.
I think that'll be safely far away. You're okay up there. You just fly out of the way and wait for the mimic to come to us. Yeah, I do need to watch out. If they try to reveal the birds, they might actually find Shovel really standing there. I should move him elsewhere. Move her elsewhere. Okay, it's turn. They very much ambush predators. Not a threat when I see them coming like this.
Never a dull moment. At the ready.
Okay, let's reapply Hex to it. And this will kill on average. No, okay, well, makes it for good luck last time, I guess.
This is my happy place.
Shall we dance?
There we go. Alright, let's get looting. And actually, let me switch Lae'zel up to have the Melf's first staff. And of course, I guess the wood-woad shield is what she was building.
Is that blood? No, never mind. Swift as my feet
I
can.
don't think the bones around here have anything useful. They're just kind of clues to watch out, I suppose.
That's curious.
Hand Axe +1 is a pretty good throwing ammunition because it does more damage than the hammers I've been using up until this point. And the Wondrous Gloves are one of my favorite items in the game because they're great for bards, giving you extra bardic inspiration, and they give you armor class. Like, what more could you want, really? So we'll happily switch out the Daredevil Gloves for those, and wear these at least off and on for the rest of the game. Why is Lae'zel's armor class so bad? We need to fix that. Well, I'll think about that later on. I think these mimics are empty, if I remember right. No, there's a bit of money. Okay.
Still breathing.
And then the real Harper's stash relates to this toy chest thing, which is kind of peculiar. Find it to be still locked. The Harpers are seldom this paranoid other than Jaheira, but in any case, we'll just disarm that, lockpick it.
Trouble now.
Yeah, I thought it didn't show up, actually. You're supposed to cast light on the toy chest for it to show up. Maybe one of us has a light that counts for that purpose. Okay, it has a scroll of a useless spell. And it has this thing, which basically just says that Ketheric is a bad guy, which we already know, and that they want to ally with the Emerald Enclave, which we also already knew about. I'm not sure why this is, you know, a scroll to that effect was hidden so carefully. I mean, obviously they don't want to be caught by Ketheric, but this hiding in the middle of his fortress really help with that? And put a bunch of mimics there? Oh, well. Most of Grymforge is great, and it has, you know, cool atmosphere and a great environment. I don't like the upcoming part here. I'll talk about why as we get into this. So, here we have two Dwargar stonemasons. You know, dwarves, especially Dwargar, should be the ultimate experts on stonemasonry stuff, because, you know, dwarves love rock and they just live underground all the time. But somehow or other, this stonemason dwarf is completely helpless to learn anything about masonry. He needs us, a random bunch of humans, to walk by and roll DC chance checks to tell him basic things about what we're finding here.
What luck! Look here, Toon.
And the reason for that is just a very contrived way to tell us the backstory of this place without us finding it in a way that would be more natural. Which is why I don't really like it very much.
The rock, the rubble, all of it, if I may be so bold.
It's a great chance for, you know, giving us some environmental storytelling, but instead of doing that, they give us this just contrived chance for us to roll some skills and learn everything that way. And I would like, rather they just do things with environmental storytelling, which they're decent at when they put their mind to it. It's one of the few things I don't like about Grymforge, really, is how they handle this. I feel like it's kind of a missed opportunity for something that could be really cool.
The statue's meandering curves and golden edges stand out against the weathered masonry behind it. Two styles, two eras. The statue was carved from newer stone and erected by latecomers to this ancient...
I don't really know why Ketheric's group would be any good at stonemasonry stuff anyway, because they all came from a surface village. Like, they were a bunch of elves and humans, most as far as we're aware. They didn't live underground up until that point. So I don't know where they got so good. Wah wah. I might just re-roll that one. I have plenty of inspiration and not much else to use it on. Wow. Okay, it's dumb to use inspiration on this, but I'm doing it anyway.
Boulders
Just to show up this dwarf.
of various sizes clutter the corridor. Many split cleanly in two. Yet some walls remain fully intact. No quake brought these rocks down. They were smashed through in an instant. Something big charged through here. Something very big.
What do you think?
This check should be easy.
Several glassy stones stand out in the debris. Their borders are coated with tiny yellow crystals. The hottest of flames smoothed the stone and left sulfuric crystals behind. The fires of the hells have touched Grymforge.
We could also just roll this, you know, bardic history thing here, but that wouldn't really make the point I was trying to get at here, where this mason really should be telling us about this stuff, or we should find it out ourselves from environmental storytelling.
Incredible. An entire history risen from dirt and debris. Picture it.
Kith here is one of the few likable dwarves. All the rest of them are just really, really made to be complete jerks in every way all the time.
Abandoned. Untold.
It's kind of their one token, not pure evil dwargar.
Fresh walls. Fresh sculptures.
I don't really know what happened to the first Shar worshippers here.
These charges through, toppling the walls and crushing...
As for the Hell Beast, it was probably just like a big hellbore or something like that. I don't think the Orphan who was here would have been able to smash through walls that easily.
Perhaps you might have use of it.
I guess so. We have tons of surplus infernal plate at this point. You get lots and lots in the game, you really only need a few. So you might as well just sell the spares once you're done with Damon in the next area.
I must get to it. Well, let's see what you've got.
He's a merchant. He's not really worth buttering up because we'll be probably killing him momentarily. But let's see what he has. Arrows of Darkness, probably worth picking up. Elixir of Bloodlust, probably worth picking up. The rest of this stuff... not really worth bothering with, I would say. Okay.
That's all then.
Now,
This place has me captivated.
yeah, they really want to hype up that story here, but it's not that amazing. It's like solid, but anyway. Once she's away, we can probably start this. Now, here comes the other one, whatever. He'll never be pulled into the main fight, and if we do the main fight without him, he'll just kind of leave. So, if we're ever fighting him at all, which isn't a big threat, this is the time for it, I guess.
Little one, but do not take long. I feel his shadow. I heard his name whispered. The rock shivers from
This is a strange and interesting
the
Rothe NPC.
Ketheric Thorm, a familiar name. Halsin mentioned his stronghold.
I feel like we already know all of this, like several times over, don't we? Am I getting ahead of myself? Did we not learn this already 3 times before?
Mighty elf, cloaked in darkness. 10 masters ago, and 10 more. But I remember. There was the work, and the blood. There was the Thorm's army. There was the Hell Beast that broke them. The
I think I mentioned before, there was kind of a contradictory story there where some sources seem to indicate that his army was basically destroyed by the Devils, and we know why that would be. And another source seems to indicate they were destroyed by the Harpers. The Harpers themselves seem to indicate they defeated him in battle and killed him, themselves and so forth. So, I guess my best interpretation is maybe his army was destroyed separately here, and then he was weakened with his remaining forces, and the Harpers destroyed that. But really, it doesn't quite seem to fit together from what clues I've seen.
I outlived my
This part I don't get, because it's normal to outlive your mother, and especially her mother and so forth. That's standard.
many mothers.
It'd make more sense if he said he outlived his children and children's children, as a way to say he's living super long.
To see many
Anyway.
die.
Just for no particular reason, this one Rothe lived a really long time.
I saw tusks and flesh, smelled fire and eggs.
Eggs presumably meaning the sulfurous smell,
The masked men crashing.
and the masked men will be the Maragons.
I know not, so I say not. Yet I hear his name again, said by the shadows.
Afraid of Thorm.
Do not think on it further. Rest. I will see you safe.
Seems like a good moment to talk.
Those two still talk.
I don't know, these are some of my favorite random animal NPCs in the game for whatever reason. Over here, there are lots of skeletons of massacred Shar worshippers. Most of their armor is not really worth bothering to loot. I only loot because they're worth a 10-to-1 ratio or better. I guess I could loot it anyway and just sell it to the merchant who's right nearby, but it would feel pretty cheesy to me. The enchantment on this one is really not useful to me because I don't take damage in general, so I don't really want a situational retaliation damage. This is an interesting clue about a quest we'll be finding later on. I guess he wasn't killed by Sybil, at least. These masks could be useful, I guess, but we don't really do Intimidate very often, so we'll probably just pick it up and sell it. Another one of those mail armors that we'll be selling once we get to a merchant that actually likes us.
As you look at the skeletons, you realize they are all clad in the same dark armor.
No burial. Just slaughter. Damn.
I'm surprised the dwarves haven't looted them already for their valuable armor and whatnot.
Among the various fabrics, you
I really thought we knew this already, like 3 times over, from people like Halsin and other sources.
lady.
Let's just hope whatever managed to plow through them is long dead.
And of course, it's not. We'll be running into an encounter that's some lingering devils.
This is the city Halsin mentioned.
Alright, some more treasures over here.
Perhaps, please.
Lots of Dwargar boxes, I guess. Black crossbow +1, I guess I'll take that.
I know this design. Shah's faithful wield crossbows like these.
Another version of that line I think I've seen once says that Dwargar couldn't make something this good, which is absolutely bizarre to me, because, like, Dwargar, like all dwarves, are master craftsmen, and dwarves love crossbows for whatever reason. So, we didn't get that version here, but it's a very strange line when it does happen. Certainly, I expect them to be better than random Shar worshippers. Alright, let's offload some more weight. Here we got a book that has some of the philosophy of Dwargar, I think, in one of these. So, the Dwargar have this very joyless, work-focused philosophy, which is kind of a dark version of the normal dwarven love of, you know, work and craftsmanship and things like that. Dwargar make effective things, but not nice-looking things, because they only care about just efficiency and hard work for its own sake. Find another book that indicates like how much they dislike drinking, which of course is the usual dwarven pastime and things like that. Disliking it just because they see that it's distracting them from their work, because they're just all about toil.
Whispers.
All these ones are very lazy and have slaves do all their work for them. Man, imagine the fall of them if I attacked something from down, you know, there, throwing it at them. It might be like infinity, or it might be 0. Totally at random. Okay, I should make sure to actually, you know, disarm this before opening it up. Disarm. There we go. Sneaking Cloud I might actually use, because it's a Constitution-based disable effect, and I have ways to make people bad at Constitution more than will. So, worth something maybe. The real Sparky Sparks Wall. We already have a ring called like the Sparks Wall. They're both made by Ire, the you know, gnome who worked with Lenore and so forth. I don't think the real Sparky Sparks Wall is worth very much, but I might try it out a bit at least, so I'll give it to you and give you the Safeguard Shield instead of the Woodwoad one. Maybe you can have the Woodwoad one. Not that you can use it very often. We'll get many more, much better magical shields pretty soon.
Still alive. So that's progress. Have I been this way before?
Alright, up we go. There'll be a pretty tough, or moderately tough at least, encounter waiting for us over hereabouts. I haven't really fully decided whether I'm going to go for rescuing and then killing Nier or fighting Grim yet. I get more of a reward for fighting Grim, but I feel like I can make more of an in-character justification for going after Nier first, which is what we're here to do. Alright, so there is a bunch of Dwargar who are beating their Rothe.
I'll take a slice off your horns. You, grab a cane and whip these Drugnin beasts into shape. That rubble needs clearing, and my patience is hanging on by an arse whisker.
I really feel that, you know, getting pickaxes out would be better than having, you know, basically cows headbutt the walls until they break, but what do I know?
Don't think I won't thrash you harder than the Rothe. Something spooks the dumb shits, so stop your jawing and get to working.
We'll do this often so the Rothes are hostile to us too. We can get them to be friendly to us, but I want to have the hardest possible fight, so we'll do it this way.
Drugnin hoon, I'll split you from head to hole. Bloody Rothe have lost it.
I think the Rothe are hostile to them too, and they'll fight each other. But, in any case, Morgyra over there has basically trash level gear, but is very sturdy, and therefore a real nuisance. So I probably want to see if I can push Morgyra off the edge. Now the trouble is, pushing someone off the edge does not count as a kill, I don't think, for Bloodless Elixir purposes. So I probably want to set up one of these Rothe to where I can kill it too to get another action. So maybe you can... Let's check one other thing, actually.
Victory awaits.
How about you offhand shot that one? Hopefully leaving it injured enough that... Yeah, okay. Guaranteed to kill it if you hit it with Melter's Blast.
The only way out is through.
So then we will walk to a position where we can hit both targets. You'll go over the cliff, and we'll just kill you. Or not. Okay. Well, I can probably kill this thing off, almost certainly, if I just blast it with a hand crossbow shot, so we'll do that. Wow. Minimum damage. Okay. Well, Ballista, you've screwed up, so, I don't know, get out of the way.
Coming for you.
I guess we have to kill Grundrill next. I'd rather go for Headmaster Skarl, but once we have freed up the Ravens, they can help finish things off. What are his weaknesses? He has pretty bad Constitution saving throws, so we can maybe get Lae'zel to hit him with her Halo of Spores effect. Unless you need to stand next to that guy to do that. We don't really want that, necessarily.
My turn.
I could try to just leave him alive, but I think I'm going to kill all of them if I can. So, let us first give you a Ray of Frost. Give you Reverberation. Then we give you more Reverberation. Okay, you should now be sufficiently weakened for Lae'zel to pretty much guaranteed get you with Halo of Spores for some damage at least. Let's have her throw the hand axe +1 at you.
Time to waste.
And then I'll walk here, and I'll poke that guy. Okay.
Still breathing.
So you're out of options, you're out of options.
Find a route.
This feels good.
Now it's basically up to Astarion, I suppose. So let's have you fire off your Dread Ambusher shot. Unless we can do more damage to something else. What are the odds of this doing more? 34, I mean maybe, but don't want to count on it. So let's actually do our non-Dread Ambusher shot on that guy. Let's just fire off our regular old offhand shot. Is this guaranteed to kill if I turn off? Close enough. I'll go for it. Okay. Now the birds can get in on the action. So let's have one peck him so I can get advantage against him. Or not. Oh.
Can you feel death's cold grip?
Now we turn back on Sharpshooter, and we are going to blast away at him. And this should be a guaranteed kill. Leaving only the Rothe themselves. Which are kind of, I mean, I'm not going to call them glass cannons, but I don't know, glass pistols or something. That they have this advantage of being agitated makes them pretty accurate. And pretty high strength, too. You know, if we're having a starting to be happy, we should have him be agitated instead if we're just having advantage all the time. Who knew that being agitated was that powerful? I would take cover from the Rothe so it can't hit anyone, ideally.
My fury. I am dead.
Lae'zel can't really get out of there, I don't think, because I had to have her charge in too close, so,
Miss this.
Did you already use up? You already used up Scare. So I could have a Raven try to distract it, essentially. I'll have to go for one of those instead of going for Lae'zel, who would take more damage.
Time to kill.
Oh wait, you have another attack left. What am I doing? Okay. I've been doing all this work to try to save everyone from the Rothe, but I could just shoot it down. I thought it was out of actions. There we go, okay. Handled that fight pretty well, I would say.
Keep going.
We can't interrogate the Rothe to find out what they were so scared of in the first place, but presumably they smell the devils back there or something like that. Wait, the Warhammer's worth looting, isn't it? Yeah. Lots of boxes with minor treasures in them. Not unlike that toll house back in the area near the Knolls and the Paladins. And let's have Lae'zel loot that hand axe +1, I think.
I have a lot on my mind. And, well, in it. Let's have a look.
I thought I remembered him having some magic arrows, but I guess not. Should have knocked him off the cliff too and saved time.
Are those specks of adamantine in this slag?
So, back here eventually, after a gajillion years, leads to the adamantine forest. In any case, it's a clue that this is the right path. We can break it pretty easily with just Eldritch Blast. You can also do it with explosives or whatever. But Eldritch Blast is a cheap and easy way to do it. A big blow with a maul would also work, which is why I bought that a while ago. There are certain times when you want to use that instead. Like, just to demonstrate here, I think I've got the +1 maul somewhere around here.
Assume nothing.
So that's why I bought that all that time ago. It's pretty quick for breaking through rock balls and things like that.
Still in control.
Okay, well, let's dispel the disguise and then talk to this fallen Dwergar.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Open passage, ancient forge, special, adamantine, enhancement from Mithril, done sparing, Orzron mountains, many.
So they've been here for months and haven't looted the valuables off the corpses nearby. Peculiar.
Skyum, Herdmaster, Rothe.
The spell's power.
Well, that's all fine. Let's get back into disguise. So I had planned this time actually to go back to the main group of Dwergar and deal with the deep gnomes type stuff, but I think now our characters are probably going to be intrigued by this talk of the adamantine back here and might just go deal with that. Because we haven't found out yet that Nier is trapped in this poison gas vent area where he'll die with all the gnome slaves with him. Devil foil masks are pretty interesting. If you collect them, you can put several of them on to have an interesting bonus where you have plus strength but minus all your mental stats for everyone who wears them.
Fancy meeting the commander.
It could be right. It could be powerful for the right party. Most parties will not want that because almost every character wants to have either intelligence or wisdom or charisma. But interesting at least. Kind of a secret bonus there. Okay, I guess I should loot that battle axe. Fine. Yeah, a lot of light in here for a Shard Temple when you think about it. Anything in those skeletons that are hanging up? That one doesn't have any bones. How peculiar. Scroll invisibility is nice. We'll be happy to have that. And then over here, there's some booby traps and also this orb of dark vision, which gives you dark vision, which like very seldom matters, but I guess we'll take it. We can disarm that. There's two of them here, I think. There's also some across the gap, which these ones probably mostly just serve to warn you about the ones across the gap, I would think. Because you don't want to jump across there and then get blown up by them, basically. Although it isn't the biggest deal.
Vlaakith's will be done. A great darkness stirs in me. In Vlaakith's name, what is this?
I don't really know what the point of that is. I don't remember dark vision being anything necessary in this area. Let's have her jump well over to the other side there, well clear of the mines, then she can hopefully spot them. Yeah.
Stay vigilant.
Okay.
There are traps here.
I guess we need to actually throw something at them. carefully retrieve Skybreaker.
Another stride toward fate. I will take my pick.
Pick it up. Okay. Then I'll jump back over here. Yep, go. Okay.
No time to rest. Can't slow down.
So then over here there's a hallway just full of booby traps, as I recollect. Is that even possible for me to disarm? Greater toughness means it's borderline invincible. They don't want you just destroying the trap that way. 50 damage is not easy to attain in one hit. But what we can disarm are all the little traps along the way. Or we could jump over them. That's also possible. There are really many ways around this obstacle, which is good design, and I appreciate it. You can also see what I talked about there being many different 3D layers of this area. Like down below where those Rothe we were talking to. Over there we can get down to another path that's pretty interesting. You can skip a lot of this content. I just kind of want to show more or less everything. Okay, so after all that, we get to this locked gate. Lockpicking impossible. What is behind this gate is perhaps like the most heavily guarded item in pretty much all of Baldur's Gate 3. Not at all worth it, but just kind of wanted to point out how many obstacles and traps there are in that hallway. Anyway, you can get through this in several ways. It's pretty weak to bludgeoning, so if we get out, maybe throw a hammer at it, that could probably break it, or to swing at it with the maul. Yeah, it's gonna break it pretty easily. Another fire-breathing gargoyle.
Can't give up now.
Quiet. I'm thinking.
Let's be on my way.
All to guard their idol, so I guess like from a religious perspective it's important, but it's a useless item. Shadowheart, the person who's dead? Yeah, maybe. I'm glad I have an Elixir of Vigilance. That's a genuinely good item. The minor treasures. I don't know what Ire was doing here making these items. I thought Ire was a pretty recent phenomenon, whereas this is like a really, really ancient Shar temple. Because Ire was Lenore's lover, and Lenore is still a present-day person. No indications that she's super, super old, so I found that peculiar. Anyway, it's a decent little clothing item that gets +1 to spell save DC, so, it could be nice. In fact, I think it's basically a straight upgrade for Ballista. At long last, we can switch out from this Robe of Summer. On a run where you can kill off Karlach, you can have him be wearing the Infernal Robe this whole time, which is pretty great, but now we have this at least. So +1 spell save DC is appreciated. And we have lightning charges pretty often, so, getting +1 armor class and spell saves is nice. A genuinely solid item. How they got here again, I don't know. I remember there being mostly, junk items in this area, but there's a few chests, I think. I forget if they're booby-trapped or not. That one's not, apparently. Oop, misclicked. Okay, back up we go after that little minor treasure excursion. And I thought I remember there being, another platform that has a few more little treasures on it. Over thereabouts. This also is a set of levers to operate that moving platform, which is pretty good. Oh, is that the key for the gate? Maybe. I always seem to find keys after I need them, which shows how little you actually, need them. That's one of the adamantine molds. We can get over there this way or from the other side. I think I probably want to do it from the other side, but let me just check to see if there's anything useful here. And we'll take them, some minor treasures. Anyway, levers that raise and lower these platforms and things like that. There's some jumping puzzle type things in this area. They're pretty tame and pretty easy ones, but you know, it's a nice use of the 3D environment again. I cannot say enough good things about Grymforge. It's one of my favorite areas of the game. I think it's just fantastic game design in general. It's a ton of fun. Alright. Let's have Lae'zel cast Enhanced Leap on everyone, then we'll jump across to now the disarmed side of that bridge. Yeah, I would say, in contrast to the Arcane Tower, this is an area that uses traps heavily for its difficulty and is quite fun, I would say. Whereas I find Arcane Tower to be fairly boring most of the time. Interesting and atmospheric, but boring to get through in general. Okay, let's jump on over there.
Alright, what now?
Our birds made it without me having to manually coach them. I'm proud of them. And even a bottle won't come from me. I really am just scraping the bottom of the barrel in terms of carrying capacity. And just start sending things to camp. I don't usually like to do that because it feels like bad role-playing, but I just seem to have no choice at this point because I can't find any, you know, merchants to go to. That like me enough to sell things to them at a good price, that is. Why is the idol of Shar worth so much more than the one of Selûne? Come on. Okay.
Headache.
I think down here we'll get a little bit of a clue about, I'm not certain. I think this relates to the escaped gnome slave, but I never did quite understand the layout here and how it relates to her.
I see tracks there, or footprints. That's worth a look.
So we see tracks or footprints. I forget how we click on them, but basically if we succeed, we'll find out about
bloody tracks.
A gnome finding some trouble here and getting out, I think.
A gnome found some trouble here.
But I don't see how it relates to where we find the gnome later on, so I'm a little bit confused by that. Maybe I misunderstand something about it, or missed a connection here in this 3D maze. Ominous background music. I guess over there, is that... No, that's not the room I'm thinking of. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure what connection this bears to the gnome that we find. So many corpses of, I guess, mostly Shar worshippers. Good riddance.
What's hiding here? I'll give it a shot.
Come, all who are weary. Sleep and forget.
Lots of torture for people who abhor all light. So, it saves rather ominously there, although I recall this being a fairly easy area. There is an important treasure to obtain on one of these random skeletons, just one of them and only one with no clear indication has one of the adamantine molds that we might want to acquire. Nothing on the table? Okay. Aha. Ice Storm. I wouldn't usually cast it, but if I have a scroll of it, yeah, I could do it once in a while for a blast. This one, I guess, is the harper that gives us the clue about the light chest thing that we found. Lux Splenda is the words your character says when casting a light spell. It's Latin again. So I guess Sybil did kill some Sharans, but not the one who stole her magical curse amulet thing. Strange.
Lux Splenda. Give a light spell a try. That should get us into that chest.
We already did that though, somehow or other. I forget which of the many skeletons in this room is the only one in the entire dungeon that has the thing we're looking for, but I know it's true of one of them. Through that door, there's an encounter waiting for us. Let's just loot things out here first and then take care of that, so we don't get distracted. Oh, you know, I kind of am beginning a little bit to understand the whole gnome connection a bit. Oh, no, the direction's still wrong. If the gnome escapes in, like, that direction, how does she end up going up this area, through there, through, across that gap, and over to... Yeah, I can't make any sense out of that, actually. Okay. Never mind, I thought I was finally understanding, but I am still just confused.
These are Sharan weapons. I would recognize the Night Singer's blades anywhere.
So there we go. There's the adamantine shield mold, which we probably won't want to use, but it's better than some of the other adamantine options, so it's an important thing to be so hidden. Most other ones are pretty much out in plain sight, I would say. Alright. Let us prepare for battle over here. You know, it might be useful. Is it possible to do it by surprise if we open the door by stealth? I've never tried that. I might see how it works. It's weak to force, so it might be breakable if we stand at a long distance and just, you know, attack it with Eldritch Blast and things like that, maybe? I think they're all melee guys anyway, so I'm going to just try something new here and see how it works. Yeah.
Don't want to try.
Everyone hide or whatever. And then, why can't you hit that thing? Don't give me that. Okay, it won't let me attack it, apparently. Strange. And that's too far. Alright.
Can't risk being in open.
Are they coming out? Interesting. No. Okay, well, in that case, I might see what happens if we use one of our seldom used items here and have Lae'zel. You didn't turn invisible, did you? No, okay, there we go. Now I'm shrouded. Alright, interesting. Let's see what happens if she now attacks, and if that actually gives them a surprise or not. Nope, did not surprise them. So I kind of lost some actions about that, but oh well.
Taking my time in the shadow.
Well, that's alright.
On my way.
Let's get into it.
Go for a good meal.
Shut up about good meals, Karlach. See, they have a bunch of hellbores here. I don't think those probably broke down the walls. I don't think the Orthan with them could have done that either, though, so I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, like many enemies in the game, they really punish you a lot if you attack them in melee, which is, again, makes so melee is never, ever an attractive option. Melee characters just always kind of suffer for nothing. What are you weak to? Anything? You are immune to fire. Everything else is okay against you. Extra attack, yeah, we probably want to kill you. The most dangerous one of them in many ways. Sentinel, again, if you go into melee, you get nailed down by Sentinel, but if you just attack at range... Nope. That was not what I meant to do. But I didn't actually cast. Let's see if an acid arrow helps. Wow. No, didn't help. You gave him acid at least, so that's something, but yeah. Okay, I'm getting the impression we're not going to actually be beating this Maragon Legionnaire, but we'll see.
It's worth the cost.
If I hex you and turn that off, you still have your action left. Great, okay. Yeah, I might want to throw an explosive in there. I've got a good number of them. And I have missed so many attacks, I need to actually soften them up in some other way now, I think. So, let's do that. Although Karlach, being the weaker attacker, is maybe the better choice for that. If she can do it. Since, you know, Lae'zel has a powerful attack of her own. Okay, I had a path there for a second. Give that back to me, please. There we go. That should do pretty well, I think. They all saved. Okay. Not enough movement.
Ooh, fun.
That Maragon is a tough customer. Well...
In my best interest.
Soften him up like that.
To push my luck again.
I've hexed him, but I still don't have enough damage, I don't think, to actually reliably kill him.
Let's have some courage.
I won't give in.
Let's spill some...
You only have one attack left unless you get the kill. Which I don't think is probable. Given that he doesn't resist he doesn't resist magical, and I am doing magical, but I still don't think I'll get the kill. Yeah, it requires some really good luck.
Swift and lethal.
Hungry for the slaughter.
What now?
Can you get a kill on anything reliably? I mean, not reliably, but I'm gonna go for that one, I think. With an average roll, I'll get the kill. There we go. Then you can probably kill that thing now. There we go.
I'm ready.
So now you can maybe kill off one of those hell... Oh, no, you can't. You can bonus action kill one of them off. Let's do that. But bonus action to dash, and then you can kill one of them off, is what I meant to say. And then I give it another action, I think, which is to let you kill the other one. Okay. That was surprisingly complicated, the way things worked out. They dodged so many attacks, but with careful reconsideration, it worked out.
Indolence breeds madness.
Anyway. He's got a Maragon Halberd, which is nothing too special, really, as I recollect. And another Devil Foil Mask.
Another mask.
A clue about the, seeking its own kind. So if we put on two of those, just to demonstrate here. We each now have penalties to all of our mental stats, which is terrible. We have pluses to her strength, although for her it's superseded by the fact that she has the elixir all the time. Anyway, if you have a lot of the max in the party, and the party doesn't depend upon intelligence, charisma, or wisdom, it can actually be pretty good, I guess. You look kind of dumb, but it can be effective.
What to do?
That Hellbore is stealing to loot? Strange.
Pull yourself together.
We'll meet some ochre jellies as monsters later on. We actually saw the place were dripping down from the ceiling earlier on, but... Ah, yeah, I forgot about this crossbow. There are not very many magical hand crossbows in the game. And this one is pretty bad, because it's not even a +1 hand crossbow. And doing additional damage to someone who's burning is pretty situational, because burning is a rare status. It's kind of meant to pair with another hand crossbow you get in the same area from another devil later on, which inflicts burning pretty reliably, but it's still not as good as just having +1 or +2 whatever weapons most of the time. So I'm not too impressed with that. I will maybe not sell it, but we'll see. Construct Sling could be good for an Act 3. Another Devil Foil Mask. We'll take them. And an Elixir, we'll take that too.
Just like the others.
But I think here's where we should probably end.
Return to the hells.
No, the Maragon Master's still around here, obviously. Well, I had a great time with Grymforge, looking forward to more of it next time, and moving on to the Adamantine Forge. Thank you for watching, everyone. And a special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Macy3131, Frank Maidens, Master Knight DH, Jackie and Lino, George Grin, Travis, Carlo Andrea 97, Cthulhu's Mom, Andrew Curzon, Trubsy, Skill Rap, Gregory, William Wakefield, Danny Hall, Jeffrey Morse, Just Becca, Jack, Mashas01, Jacob Marshall, Nubiana, Till Fisher, Latenix, Discord Colossus, Nicholas Schmuck, Kostya Nesterevich, Luke, Frederick Brune, Goman Blackrock, Dodo King 4, Marcin Bialik, Maveth, Techno Waffle, Nebular, I Loop, Michael Francis, Emperor Kong 420, Robert Mackey, Micken Balls, Daniel Sedagicato, Stilgen Flamey, Micah Murray, Christopher Allen, Stefan Von Zill, Eddie, Kaimu, Wendy, Ali Kasamoglu, Lucas Riverola, Skylar Sauce, Nick Myers, Gibbo Jibbo, Bethany James, and Emp Ninjas. Have a great day, everyone.